For better or worse, reality TV is one of America's favorite time wasters. Shows like Real Housewives, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and Pawn Stars claim to show you life as it happens. But everyone with critical thinking skills knows that not everything you see is real. The genre is a magnet for criticism. Critics say shows like these place their participants in staged situations, staging scenes and sometimes writing out the stories before the cameras even start rolling, all while trying to convince the audience what they're watching is real. It's common knowledge that the reality portrayed in reality TV can be misleading. Producers of these shows frequently plant their subjects in made-up scenarios, even outright faking certain aspects of the show for entertainment value.
And I'm in a serious relationship with my car.
But years and years before reality TV looked anything like this, a British movie you've never heard of came out. It not only predicted that this documentary style of reality programming would become a thing in the first place, it also predicted how wildly popular it would become, even predicting how dirty the business of reality TV would become, all with jaw-dropping accuracy. First, let's get some context. In the United States, TV technology wouldn't become the centerpiece of the living room until 1947. That's when commercial TV broadcasts began. By the mid-1950s, half of American households have TVs, but the format was still very new. Sponsored variety shows featuring singing and dancing, and TV family serials, what would later be known as sitcoms, had just been invented. At the same time television was exploding in popularity, a play called Simon and Laura premiered in Great Britain in 1954. This play, a comedy, would be adapted to a movie in 1955 with Peter Finch and Kay Kendall cast in the lead roles. In the first scene, TV executives are called to a meeting. The executive has a crazy idea for a new show. Put cameras in famous people's houses and make a TV show about it. The TV people decide on Simon and Laura, a married couple who became household names as theater actors.
My plan, in a nutshell, is to put on every evening at a peak viewing hour a program that will mirror the lives of an ordinary, happily married husband and wife.
The vibe they put out to the public is that they have the perfect marriage, so they're a natural choice. The BBC TV executives in the movie established from the get-go that they want the show Simon and Laura to be good, wholesome, fireside family entertainment. Simon meets with his agent, who is trying really hard to get Simon to basically debase himself for the sake of content, and who could blame him? Apparently, Simon is in so much gambling debt that even his agent has loaned Simon money. So the agent has one thing on his mind.
Television.
As Simon debates whether or not to go along with the show, they weigh the pros and cons. But before we move further, let's take a look at some common occurrences behind the scenes of reality television. Producing and editing reality TV is telling a story, and the narrative can be controlled by adding or removing context from what was recorded. Before shooting the show begins, they make their casting search for individuals that will help them tell that story best. And in some cases, the more colorful or reactionary the personality, the better.
I've been writing episodes of reality television for 8 years now. This girl told us that she had been suicidal and now that she was on medication, but that she wasn't completely sure if it was working. Yeah, we cast her.
I don't know, man. If anybody gets in my face, obviously you can't hit them, right? Or you're off the show.
You use your best judgment.
Oh, okay. What if it's self-defense?
Use your best judgment.
Got me some impaled people. So like them. When I was a little kid, I saw that movie Dracula.
Yeah.
And the impaled bodies in it. Got me excited, so I decided to get that tattoo.
Yeah.
It says War Machine, it's my fight name.
War Machine?
Yeah.
John War Machine Copenhaver?
Yeah.
All external sources of stimulation are taken away without exception. This means no phone, no TV, and absolutely no communication with the outside world. The simple reasoning behind this is to create tension, as tension can lead to hostility, and hostility can make for great television.
The producers wanted Stu's sister Justine to ask Soph if she had her sights on the family fortune.
My sister didn't ask the question, but then when it got on, when it was actually on TV, somehow they cut and pasted words of my sister's from the night, and the question was asked.
Sophie, what is your ultimate game? Is it marriage? Is it kids? Money?
If you let me tell you, I hope not. It would concern me.
Do you get to watch that before it goes to air?
No.
No. So you watch it with everyone else?
Yeah. There was a scene that I remember exactly what happened in my head, and what was edited was not that. Because it was this bit where I was looking for an idol. This girl, Brooke, who's this beautiful girl who was on the show, a friend of mine, and she was in a bikini. She's walking up towards me, and she's like, Maddie, what are you doing? Getting some of the rope down from our camp. I'll be there in a second. Oh, we're just going for a swim. Okay, I'll be there. Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you soon. And she walked off, and I got away with it. I looked at the camera, big smile, gave him the big thumbs up. How that was edited.
The Survivor gods, I think, have blessed us. They're an attractive group, the Sanapu. There definitely is a little bit of eye candy. It's always good to have, pretty people around the camp to look at when things are down. I won't lie.
So I'm there watching this with my wife, my family, and my friends, and I'm just remembering what happened, and I'm going to Kira, my wife, pretty good, eh? And she's like, excuse me, what the hell was that? And I had to watch it back to go, oh yeah, that's not great, and had to explain what happened.
They set us up into a situation to fail. It is actually torture. The sleep deprivation. You get to a point where you're so tired and you're so broken that you will say whatever they feed you.
I'm not gonna say that, A lot of times you're forced into situations where you almost just do it because you're tired and you've been under the lights for 10 hours and you're ready to surmise everything. You got a camera crew of 15 people looking at you and you don't want to look like a total douche.
It's as scripted as anything else you're gonna see on TV.
Simon consults with an old guy. We assume he's a professional mentor to Simon.
You become public property. Your face, electronically distorted, is huddled round and gawped at by 3/4 of the population of the United Kingdom. And within a month, every wrinkle, every wart and pustule has become part of our British way of life.
The insight into human nature here is incredible. The writer of this movie basically knew what complications would come out when one's private life is to be made public on television. Your every move is scrutinized. The love and hate flow in equal measure. Letter writers, which are basically the 1950s version of bloggers, would invest time and energy into actually writing letters providing feedback to reality stars directly. The 1950s version of Stans coming out in full force, picking apart the version of your life that made it onto the television. And just as soon as you would be able to enjoy the highs of being a beloved celebrity, you stand the risk of being a target for an unimaginable amount of ridicule. This concept is amplified even more today due to the enormous social media presence on the internet and the power of its viral and anonymous nature. An opportunity at fame might seem like an obvious choice for some, but it's a decision that should not be made lightly, because for some, it's a death sentence.
2 former reality stars in the UK have taken their own lives.
After the show aired on TV, I had to shut down my Facebook account. People were attacking me, they found me, and I was afraid for my family.
I got a lot of death threats. Just really specific threats, like, I hope she gets raped and dies and then dies in a fire.
Someone had taken a photo over the stall while I was going to the bathroom and put that photo on Instagram. This was not a flattering photo.
I didn't sign up to have my life completely ripped to shreds. I didn't sign up for that.
I suppose it would be quite an opportunity.
It could lead anywhere, Laura, anywhere. Is the money good? All money's good when you haven't been making it, eh?
So Simon and Laura decide to put aside their marital problems and do the show, as Laura says, for purely business reasons. As soon as the season premiere goes on the air, things really start to go off for Simon and Laura. They get endorsements and deals. Simon is endorsing a specific brand of tobacco. Laura is endorsing a special laundry detergent that will take the awful smell of tobacco out of the clothes. Priceless. With Simon and Laura's recent success on television, the producers brainstorm ways in which they can improve ratings for the show. They first add an adopted son to the family dynamic, but eventually go as far as meddling in Simon and Laura's personal lives in an effort to exploit their individual weaknesses and shortcomings. As if that wasn't bad enough, they even explore the idea of what would happen if Simon died. Basically, daring both of their stars to let the worst parts of themselves come out, all to spice up the show. It just speaks so well to the media landscape we live in right now, especially on social media. People are more prone to react to negative, emotionally provocative content. Killing off Simon would have gotten lots and lots of sad reacts. The best scene of this movie comes as they're filming the Christmas episode. The writers and producers have planted their little seeds in Simon and Laura. They're all drinking too much just to get through it. Then things fall apart when they start to have too many shots of brown liquor. And we all know alcohol leads to honesty. Everyone proceeds to beat the shit out of each other. The producers try to take the show off the air, but then that adopted, ungrateful little child star actually puts them back on the air. But of course, the Christmas special gets rave reviews. The movie is on the nose at this point. It shows a sort of loss of the TV format's innocence that results when people realize the wilder the better. In the TV news industry, they actually have a saying: if it bleeds, it leads, which means the more graphic or violent the content, the closer you put it to the beginning of the newscast. Critics argue that reality television shows do not accurately reflect reality, and that they glamorize the worst in humanity. Now, mileage may vary, but in the case of 1955 Simon and Laura, that sentiment could not seem any truer. The fact that this came out in the age of, candid camera, a full 30 years before reality TV as we know it looked anything like Simon and Laura, before it looked anything like, well, the shit show it has become, makes this really kind of obscure British movie from 1955 seem really overlooked in hindsight. It's a shockingly accurate condemnation of an art form that wouldn't even fully materialize until about 30 years later. So what does Simon and Laura's prediction of modern pop culture tell us? Reality TV may have only existed for some decades, but human nature's standard for entertainment has had a similar pattern for much, much longer.
It's very similar to sort of the Colosseum back in ancient Roman times, where we had whole crowds watching the lions and the Christians. It's voyeuristic, it's terrible, and I don't like it.
Sure, it may have almost killed me, but were you not entertained?
Thank you for watching the very first episode. If you want to see more, we'll have plenty of videos up here soon, so click the subscribe button. Again, thank you so much for watching.